Welcome to Arrows TV. I'm your host, Johnny Kelly.
And I'm your co-host, Joseph Ball.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. We will be recapping some of the stuff that just happened before Christmas. And this is your catch-up. And we'll also, throughout the programme, be reviewing all our teams and how they're going to fare in the new year. What's first up, Joe?
The under-16s played Nottingham Hoods at home. Here are the highlights.
That's a foul too.
Hey, let's go, Alex.
Yeah, Ali. The pass, attack.
Mad on.
Yeah. Hands away. You alright?
Playing.
Hey, let's go, Wada.
It was an unfortunate loss for the under-16s. Johnny, how do you think they're going to do the second half of the season?
Well, they've positioned themselves at 4 and 5, which shows that we do have some talent. They can win basketball games. Unfortunately, they're not quite getting it together. What was going to be a change in the new year, I believe, is just a commitment to each other. I think that there has been times where, in difficult times, you've got to stick together, and in times that's kind of wavered. But they've got enough character to kind of pull that around and make a push in the second half of the year. In basketball, as everybody who plays basketball now, any season you get above 500, more wins and losses is a good season regardless. So for them, that's what their focus should be. The 4 and 5 before Christmas. Let's switch that around and make sure we have a good push going into Christmas, I think, for them.
That's it. Well, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. What's next?
The under-18s up against Newcastle. They also played at home. Here are the highlights.
That's all right. Pivot hard. Good boy. Good pass. Nice, go Ellis! Nice pass!
A great win by the under-18s. Talking about the rivalry between Arrows and Newcastle, how do you feel like it's coming this season?
I think the rivalry's been there for quite a while, especially under 14s in that age group. We went in blind. We'd not played under 13s. We didn't know how good we were, but we knew Newcastle were good, and we had two close games with them, and that was really surprising for us. And then that rivalry grew the next year. We went undefeated in the league, and we really beat them badly at home. You know, and they really suffered that game. But the next year, under 16s, we split it, home and away, and that rivalry's just been cooking for a year, and it's come out, and we've won 2 league games, and we lost the cup game away, but winning the 2 league games were important. And I think that kind of shows what we do as a club is about making sure the talent is just right at under 18, and you can see that we started off with 2 losses, and it's been building, and we got the wins this year, which was very important. Ross Walcott is kind of one of the main guys in that age group. He put up outstanding numbers: 33 points, 20 rebounds, 7 assists. What you've seen him as a point guard? What's his versatility like?
Well, I think when you see Ross's game, you don't really know what to do. Like, no matter what he wants to do, whatever his objective is, he will do it. So even if it's on, scoring 30 points and getting rebounds like he had 20, but he's happy enough to get 30 rebounds and a win too. So I think when you have a player that's unselfish, all it ever does is really just help the team gel, because everybody has a team that gels around. Andreas last year, Anton when he played. So I feel like, there's always one of them guys, and you can tell he's been at the club for a long time, because he has the Arrows feel about him. He knows what he's doing. He knows what to get from the coaches, which are also, it's a big thing for a young player.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Ross and the rest of his team were also in action the week after. They played the very, very highly respectable Leicester Riders at Dropfield Sports Centre. Let's check out those highlights. Tough loss for the under-18s against Leicester. Looking at their season so far, they're sitting 5-4 in their record. What does the second half of the year have for the Young Arrows?
I think it's going to be a big learning experience. You can tell just from the guys that come to training, seeing them train and play, that they're constantly improving. It's always a bit weird up there, the first year players jumping up into the under-18s. So after January, they've kind of had games under the belt. They're still in the playoff picture. They have lots of talented players. I think, starting the 2016 well, training hard, they could definitely make a push for the playoffs. What do you think about academies and under-18 teams? What do you think? It's good for the game?
I think it really does put a lot of strain and pressure on the clubs that aren't academies. I think you have a look back into the histories. I remember Preston Pride being one of the major teams, especially in the Northwest, one of the major teams in junior basketball, and when the academies came in and Manchester really started to get going strong, and they had East Durham back in the day, and I'm pretty sure Solihull had a strong academy there. That really wiped out some of those better players. Those better players from Preston found themselves going to Manchester. A lot of London players found themselves playing in East Durham, just completely across the country. And I think it's putting that strain on those teams that aren't academies to continue and finding local talent and producing local talent, but it's hard to compete with those academies. And I think in the end, what are you really hoping to get out of junior basketball? Because you might have people training 5-6 times a week, but if you're only producing in an age group, if you're only producing a handful, 60-70 players, what's that doing really for the game and the popularity of the game?
Yeah.
Surely you should have lots of teams, lots of players. Good players will end up being good players. They're good players at good clubs, then that's going to be fine. Yeah. There's going to be no problem whatsoever. The academies, in that sense, aren't needed.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about taking elite players to more elite, I'm going to take the question as whether these coaches at the academies, are they the best coaches we have in the country? If they are, then the academies make sense. But if they're not the best coaches in the country and not the best coaches of that age group, then why are we taking them away from their local clubs that have already done so well for them?
That's true. I suppose you get quite a few teams, and if every team has their own, junior college setup for them to play for, and the academies won't have all the good players, and a lot of them will be spread out.
Yeah. And
it can hurt really, but it depends where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Assessing further, we've got the under 14s as well. They haven't played recently. They had a very long break over the Christmas period. They are down towards the bottom of the table, but very, very young team who are progressing, and their results are improving week to week. Even it might not show on the win tally, but a young squad just improving skills and finding a way to learn how to play basketball. That's really pleasing. Next up now are the Sheffield Gems, and they went into the Christmas break with their last game being a Leeds Ladies League semi-final. They were the hosts at Killamarsh, and they played the Leeds Trinity Tigers. Let's see how they went on.
There we go. Great spot. Good pass.
Oh yeah, I think we've got it. Definitely think we've got it in the bag. We've been working hard. We're going to enjoy our Christmas, have a good relaxing break, and then be right back at it every Friday. I felt that we trained on Friday and we put into practice what needed to be done. So we dominated their zone because we had height, so it was more of a dishing in and using the advantages of putting the ball in and that kind of thing. So Pete's strategy worked. Start off with the first quarter, I think it was a little bit finding them gaps, and then after that we managed to get rhythm and kind of take the lead. I thought Kate had a really good game. Defensively and offensively, I think she really stepped up to the mark today. It was nice to have Manon back. She's a big asset to our team. Yeah, I think we all just did really well together, and roll on Christmas.
They were the highlights, and we're absolutely ecstatic for the women's team to see them in the cup final. Kendall kind of summed it up beautifully in saying, you know what, why not? Why can't we win the league? Why can't we win the cup? In terms of the semi-final, you were there. How did you feel the game went?
I think the game was quite intense. The first half, they seemed evenly matched. A lot of great ball movement, running the floor well. It was very entertaining to watch until the second half. Gem seemed to step it up a gear and had a little bit of a gap and then blew it out. So it was good to see. Everyone played well, and good luck for the finals.
Absolutely. And like we said earlier, the league and the cup, both vary in reach, and we might be celebrating a double season for them. Moving on now for the final team of the club, the Arrows men's, went into their final game of the season with the East London All-Stars. 5-1. Could they make it 6-1 with their first league home game of the year? Let's check out the highlights.
Go, Dave. That worked
'She's like Joe all the way.
obviously fantastic news with the men getting the win there. They take their league record to 6-1, and over the Christmas break, 3rd in the league. Joseph, let's sum up where the men are right now. 6-1, 3rd in the table. You know, we got game in hands on 1st and 2nd. All's looking rosy, surely.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's hit form, and that's something that gives the team belief. And you know, having belief, like especially we've come down from losing games to win games, and we seem to have a killer instinct now. Like we want to win, and want to win any way that we can. So I think as long as we carry on positive into the new year, like the sky's the limit.
I wrote an article on arrowsbasketball.com, go check it out, Coach's Corner, and it said that the men's season will be defined by January the 17th. The next 3 games are Pioneers and Brixton in a London doubleheader. Pioneers obviously 2nd, and Brixton around towards the bottom in 10th place. And then the week after, the first home game at Queen's Park against Solent, and Solent doing on a great run of form in 4th place. How do you feel those 3 games are going to kind of see themselves fall? And if we win 3 games, where do you see us? And if we lose 3 games, where do you see us?
I think having the games that are coming up are 2 of the big teams that are doing well in the league, and Brixton is always a hard place to play. So I think it will be a good test, but the right test for the time that we are to see where we are, to play against teams that are a little bigger, and like different players, different systems. And I think it's going to help anyways, because we've got to play every team twice. Yeah. So even if we do lose all them, we're going to damn well make sure that we beat them at the event. So I think either way, it's just a learning experience, but it's also an exciting one for everybody at the club.
Absolutely, innit? And obviously the Solent game is at home at Queen's Park, and I personally have been to have a look at it. It does look absolutely beautiful in there. And we are hoping for that big push. And Solent, and I wrote about Solent, I think they're the dark horse in this league. The one that's going to rock up late into the show and try and take those top 2 spots for promotion into Division 1. Do you think the fact that we're going to Queen's Park for that game, new arena, maybe new fans, is that going to help us or hinder us?
Not maybe new fans, definitely new fans. I think it will help because, as I say, it's an exciting time. Being able to move mid-season to a brand new place is going to egg on everybody. Everyone's going to be, in the stands, going to be excited, on the court be excited. So I'm thinking that it will be a really positive step for us. But regarding Solent, like I feel that they've recruited well, and they've got all the positions filled. I think a very well organised team, of course. They are definitely going to be, causing upsets up and down the league. So it's always good to go against a team that is dangerous, because then, as I was saying with the other 2 games, but this one, especially from the circumstances last time, we didn't get to finish the game. But it's going to be a big game. I think it's definitely going to be one of the tougher games of the season.
Absolutely, and make sure you get down there. Obviously, we'll have another Arrows TV to make you aware of that game. But just get it in your calendar right now.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, definitely. Saturday the 16th of January, 6:30 tip-off at Queen's Park. I advise getting there 10 or 15 minutes before. See the lineups. A rumour has it there's a spotlight.
Hey.
Hopefully they don't spotlight on me.
Oh, hell no.
Oh no, that'd be bad news. So, that kind of concludes it for Arrows TV. Check out the website for the weekend's action. And as always, stay loyal, stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.